think he'll make the cut.
You shall see. You have to be non-feeble to make the cut. So
He is feeble, but I think he makes the cut.
it's good to hear.
I'm sure
The cut off miscut Scottish.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it wouldn't be surprising, but that's just super embarrassing.
Well, yeah, but that was all the putter. I mean, if he makes like half those putts, he easily makes the cut. So
Yeah, it's very true.
Skeens is thrusting.
Paul Skeens is an alpha male.
he's so well.
Believe it or
I was
not,
gonna say
this is the
so
first
hot.
time I'm watching Paul Skeens.
He's also so good. He's hot and good.
Believe it or not, this is the first time I'm ever watching Paul Skeens pitch. I haven't watched him yet. Like,
Oh, really?
He is filthy.
yeah.
And you're seeing it. He's nuts. Dude, he's just intimidating too. He's like 6'5", 230. Like he's just a large human being.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Randy Johnson, Bob?
Yeah, he spoke at ASU.
Oh, that's sick.
He did?
Like 6'10".
Yeah. Yeah, the Randy Johnson is he's like a big media guy now.
Yeah, he does.
He does photography and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sat through like one of my classes. He lectured for an hour. It was sick.
That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's massive.
Yeah. Like Skeens isn't that big, but I mean 6'5" for a pitcher is pretty darn large. Dawson's 6'10".
All right, put the link in the Twitter chat. You guys can post that places.
I put it on Mr. Story on Instagram. Did you put it on Twitter or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a phenomenal title. Oh, man. What are the odds for it? I'm sure they're posted somewhere, right?
Minus 180.
That's it. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
To make the cut or
What's to make?
Yes. Plus 140 to miss.
Wow. That's a little mean. Pretty darn good at Open Championships. Never missed a cut at an Open.
Their Skeens has let up a hit.
Would not be worried. Wonder who the hit was to.
But they only play like two. He
There
only
are two
pitches
outs,
like
so-
2 innings, probably, right? Like total.
Probably pitch one inning.
He'll probably only pitch one
Yeah.
inning.
Yeah.
And that will do it for Mr. Skeens.
Not even an inning.
You got the hook already?
No, you got an out. One pitch out.
You got the outs?
Nice.
Oh, congrats.
Congrats. All right, we should be live.
Sick.
Everyone, hello.
Hopefully I cannot have to go in. There's no freaking outdoor.
Could someone tweet on the Go Get That? It's not on my.
Yeah,
I tweeted to Spieth Legion, but
I
not.
did.
I tweeted it to
Bills.
my account as well.
I did.
Bills. All right,
Make-
folks.
Where
let's,
is the comment?
Let's discuss Mr. Spieth.
So
And
he's
yeah,
-5 to make the cut on Mr. FanDuel.
what?
Minus 235 on FanDuel.
Ooh, value on Beat the Line.
Oh, wow.
Bob, it says the chat is disabled. Do you know why that is?
Chat is disabled. We will get that fixed.
Do we keep it disabled?
Thank you.
I want to hear everyone's thoughts. It's a big week. Big week.
Is it ready now?
Expectations are high.
I will reload like Mr. Spieth.
Most likely
Could be a reload this week.
Fine.
That if he reloads on 1T.
At all.
11 could be a reload hole.
Well, yeah, or at all. But there's come on.
All right.
Come
Good to see Atomic
on.
Walnut in the chat.
Mr. Walnut.
Walnut avid
Always
viewer.
a pleasure.
God, it's hot.
Okay. We ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Probably.
Perfect. All right. Jordan, you should have permissions now.
Okay, we ready?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our fourth and final major preview of the 2024 season. It has been a great major season.
Huh?
Overall, it has actually been quite the opposite. I'm sure we have a lot to discuss. Elise with us as almost is becoming routine now for majors and basically any big event. So happy to have her with us. Episode 131. Pleasure to be joined by everyone live, kind of all over the place. It's nice to have my camera back so you can all see my beautiful face. Jordan on vacation, taking some time out of his pool relaxation to speak Jordan Spieth, which I'm sure is a good investment of his time. And then Dan's just home.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Troon week, baby. I'm pumped. I'm so
Yeah.
excited. I think
Yeah.
this course looks fantastic. I know it's not like one of the maybe premier open courses, but it's gonna have some teeth this week, which will be fun, unlike the Scottish last week. So wind will blow a little bit. And that's exciting. Yeah. No, I'm ready for the open theme to come on at whatever time, 3 a.m. on Thursday, and roll from there. So hopefully,
Will you be up at 3 on Thursday, Dan?
we'll see.
Will you, Elise, for
I may
live first round leader?
I will probably, especially because I want to see Ludwig, and
I
I think he's
could-
with Bright. I
I-
think he's
I-
with Bright.
I feel like-
Bryson and Tom Kim. Like that's a great group.
I feel like if I woke up at 3 o'clock on Thursday, I'd have more enjoyment watching than if I woke up at 3 o'clock on Friday, which I am doing. So,
You know,
um,
Mr. Ludwig should join Live, to be honest. He'd win a
What?
lot more that way.
What?
He's a good 54-hole player. I see where you're
Right,
coming
that's what I was going
yes,
for.
Ludwig is turning
Oh
into a
my
choker.
gosh.
Yeah,
He is not a
He's
closer
young.
on
Spieth had
Sunday.
choking problems early on in his career too.
still does.
Just saying.
Well,
Well, yes.
he doesn't even have choking problems. You can't even get into, the place is too
No,
choky.
Spieth,
Now,
yeah,
yeah.
We
Spieth,
kid. We kid.
yeah.
Spieth,
Who even knows where to start with that, man?
optimism high this week.
Oh, very over the moon.
I did post the last time he played the John Deere Classic. He finished second that year at the Open. Played the John Deere this week. Expectations should be
Guess
high.
what year that was?
Yes,
Uh,
it might have been 9 years ago, but got a weekend off to refuel.
We do.
It was a hard fought miscut at the Scottish. It wasn't.
I believe it's a few straight weekends off.
Yeah. Well, he made the cut at the John Deere.
Oh, right, the John Deere. Yes.
If you want to count that.
Yes.
Scottish. It was hard fought. He fought hard to the finish line. I mean, he didn't ace on number 9. He would have played the weekend, so it was close.
Yep.
It was close.
Yep.
He got into True nice and early. Was there Sunday? He's been working the last 3 days really hard. Expectations pretty high. He's flying in under the radar. No press conference.
Well said.
Big boy group playing with Scotty.
Yep.
Couldn't be intimidated by that at all. Scotty and Cam Young, Elise's favorite player on tour, Cam Young. Elise, are you betting on Cam Young this week?
I am.
Oh, are you betting on
Oh,
Scotty?
I like Young this week. I'll say that. I like Young this week.
He's like actually one of the best open players in the last like 3 or 4 years. If you look at
Yeah, I do like Young this week.
Yeah.
He had one,
and it was free bets.
It was all St. Andrews.
Oh,
Not
whoa,
all St. Andrews.
we have a mean
No, but he had
a non-factor.
What did he do last year?
it was like well, I don't know. I don't remember what he did last year actually.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that bad though.
I'm just kind of messing. But if you want a T5, maybe.
Spieth has a higher ceiling.
T8.
And
Oh,
Young?
T8. Respectable. Yes, then Young.
Oh, that is so incorrect.
Are you kidding me? What
Do
is
you
Cam
believe that
Young
Jordan
won?
Spieth has a chance to win this week?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
yeah,
I think.
It's
I
not
mean, compared to
zero.
like other tournaments that have come around, yes, I think he's in the better draw. Right now, as it looks for weather-wise,
I
an Open
mean,
is more unpredictable as to like who can win. Like someone,
Spieth is in the better draw. That would make sense as he's playing with Mr. Scheffler.
Is
yeah,
Schauffele in the morning? No, he's not. Oh, because he's with Tiger. So that's good. Good for
JT's in the morning.
yeah,
JT's
JT's
not
like
featured, which is chill.
by himself, which is fantastic. They know that JT
Well, he's with
is
him, but he's gotten the bad weather draw. Like
Yes.
I think like for like a lot of his opens, but it doesn't matter. Even when he's gotten the good draw, he's been awful as well. So
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too worried. I think that saying Cam Young and Spieth have this. Did you say same or higher?
I
Spieth is a
mean,
high ceiling. It's been proven in the past.
Cam
yeah.
Young can win this week. I
The
don't know if Spieth can. I think the scores will be too low for Spieth to win this week.
really
Whoa.
low. I think it's gonna be tough. But
Well,
it's
relative.
the first six are gettable.
Well, relatively, of course. I mean, I'd consider -12 too low for Mr.
Okay,
Spieth.
fair enough. Fair enough.
But
I would
um,
go 12, I think.
as Spieth said for himself, Spieth said for himself, he struggles to play golf courses where you have to make birdies. So
I'd count it
well,
as struggles to play golf courses. And
yes. This course requires too much precision for someone like Spieth.
Mr. Spieth around the turn could be a problem. That 10 through 15-ish stretch could be a problem. I could see Spieth be 3 under through 7.
yeah.
but a lot of people are going to be 300 through 7.
Correct.
So
No, he's
it's
going to
gonna
be
be
one
whether-
under through 7. Oh, because he's going to have one of the birdie holes be a bogey.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the
he hasn't
problem.
That's
Wow.
true.
bogeying quite some of the easy holes as of late. Yes.
Not
He's bogeying the hard and the easy holes. That's not a recipe for success.
not with the elite short game he had last week.
That's a good point.
I will
Just
say
saying.
this is very troublesome for the field.
If
The
he's
elite short
chipping it
game
like
is
Spieth-
troublesome.
I'm gonna give the approach game last week. It was just an off week. Those happen. He'll bounce back this week. He flushed it at the US Open. Why not flush it here? If he chips like that and then putts like a different person,
Yeah.
I think he'll be right there.
I mean, the story always is, right? If the putts fall, right? With Spieth's current game, if the putts fall, what happens? I don't think it's enough, personally.
T20 floor.
Oh, that's harsh.
If the putts fall.
If the putts fall and he chips and putts like he did, I think he can finish top 10. I don't think if the putts fall, that's enough for him to win.
Fair.
He will have to be a significantly different player than we have seen for months and months and months to win this week.
Yeah.
Into the green and off the tee. I do think that.
That's all very valid.
Ball striking wise, he will have to raise his level by tons of tons, even if the putts
Yes. All the tons. The problem is
all of the tons. Yes.
the thing you're not considering is that he's due. He's just due. So he's gonna
Well,
he's
this-
gonna this
Due for
This
what,
is semi
though,
well
Dan?
said.
Due
he's
for
due he's
This is
due
semi well
to
said.
pop. Everything's gonna pop this
Yes,
week.
but what is a pop?
A
I'd say
win. I don't
T8.
know.
A
Yeah.
box.
yeah.
He will pop.
I don't think he has the pop
I personally, from what I've heard and everything that we've seen, I think Spieth has sort of tossed this year into the recycling bin. Personally, I think he's ready. I think surgery is near 100%. I think he is going into every week with the mindset of the priority being do not hurt this to the point where it could be permanent. I think
Then why does he keep playing though?
Right.
I think that is the
And playing a
current-
lot.
The
Like,
big
he
risk
added-
is Mr. Blue.
That is a question for Mr. Spieth.
Oh, Mr. Spieth will not
Would
get
be-
that question.
Yeah, it'd be
No,
great
no.
if somebody
Well,
would ask him that
maybe there's
question.
hope with the British media. I don't know.
Well,
is he
it'll require a
is he
good
trying to get
round to speak to
his?
them.
I'm wondering if he's just trying to get into the top 50.
I truly do think
so that
that's a
he's
very giant
exempt,
possibility.
right? And then
Yes, based on him
even
playing
with
the
his risks,
John.
I mean,
What were you gonna say, Lise?
I just said, like, based on the fact that he's been trying to play a lot, it seems like, which
Yeah,
normally
no,
that
that's what I was gonna
isn't the
say.
case if he's playing well. He's trying to get
Yeah.
his ranking to top
It
50.
it really does seem like with his decision to play the John Deere, and I do believe he'll play at least the Wyndham. I think that his mindset is a Sung J M mindset for the rest of the year. I think he's trying to play a lot of tournaments, get the FedEx Cup points to get into the top 50, and head to the surgery corner of his nearest Texas hospital. Because I don't think I think he's just trying to get all of his status and basically have this year be like a push, just moving on. I truly do think that he's fine with that. I think that for him to win, he'd have to do too many things with the risks that would be uncomfortable and potentially damaging. I think there are a lot of decisions we've seen this year that he's made that suggest even for someone like him, I don't think he'd make. So that's just my point of view. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say he believes he can't win, but I think he's going in with the mindset that like he's not playing to build on a swing that he can compete with in a month. I think that he is basically trying to keep his status the same, move on to next year, new wrist, new swing.
Old.
That's just what I'm.
Yeah, I mean that would make some sense.
But let me just say, if this whole season were to go the way it was and he doesn't get surgery, big eyebrows will be raised by the blue camp.
That's well said.
So
it is an interesting.
I think it's basically 100% that he's getting surgery. I don't think a win this week would change that personally. But
yeah,
that is my opinion based on the murmurs that I've heard. I don't know anything official. But I think based on what I've seen in person, on the TV, decisions he's made, things I've heard, I think he's north of 99% right now for surgery. But just me.
Okay. That's fair. And you can see, like, I don't think the wrist hurts every day.
No.
And swing by swing. I don't think he's
Not at
necessarily
all.
thinking about it. I think it's maybe subconscious, but it's also created some bad habits and they're just taking some time to get worked through because I think they are pretty ingrained at this point. Whether that's the wrist or whether that's Spieth or whether that's coaching or a mix of all three, probably more likely. That's kind of why he is where he is today. In terms of like this golf course, right? You got to keep it on the straight and narrow, which has been pretty good overall this year, mostly with the driver, but I think there's going to be some holes where there's less than driver. And as we saw at the Scottish, Mr. Iron 3, or even at the John Deere, Mr. Iron 3 and Mr. Wood 3 are not cooperating. Yes. And so that, I think, I feel the approach game was not very good last week, but it was kind of a dartboard. I think with the wind up a little bit, it'll kind of even it out. And if he can just chip it like he did and actually make some putts, maybe we get to feel a little something heading into Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But I mean, we've kind of touched on it all season. There's nothing, and I think Bob, you alluded to it. There's nothing like concrete that feels like it's being built on. It's a lot of just bandages trying to piece
And
something
and I and
together.
I think that there's a lot of, and damn, that's a good word. I think he puts a new band-aid on it basically every round. Because you can see the band-aid collapse in a sense throughout the round and many times this year. But I don't think people are saying like McCormick this, McCormick that, Spieth's a dumbass. Like I don't like he is a professional golfer at the end of the day. If his mindset was to like try and win in the next 3 weeks, I can't fathom some of the decisions he's made being real. I think I think the injury is a very real thing. I think that he does believe that he can get it to 100% for next season. And I think that that is his priority. I think that I just, I think in the end, he does care too much for him to just be doing this with no like surgery plan in the fall. So that's just my take, and I think you guys agree to it to some extent. I'm sure there's some points you guys disagree with, but that's what I got. So
Yeah. I don't really know. It's a lost season. Risk or not. It just stinks. Like he's not gonna play well this. I mean, could he play well for a good 36 holes like he did last year? Sure. But like we don't care about that at this point in the season. It's win or lose. It's the major championship. Um, Playoffs are coming up. May or may not make them. They're not really important in the grand scheme of things. He'll get in next year to these signature events because he'll get sponsor invites. Is it a feeble way? Yes, but he's in. Um, Congrats. Um, and Mr. Spieth, it's sad. It's really sad. It's just Bob, if you think it's 100% certainty he'll get surgery, why didn't you do it earlier? You're not going to win.
that is a different talking point. I do agree with you there.
Very
There
important
is,
talking point.
yes, it's very, very fair. It's very, very fair. There is definitely a case to be made. If you're going to give him shit, I do think that as a fan, I'd much rather see people get upset with the fact that he didn't shut down the season earlier. And I can see why people would be upset he's going into tournaments with his main priority not being to win. I think that that's a much more fair case.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Than getting mad at him for.
I think part of it's like he at the beginning of the year, it wasn't really like he had hoped it was basically like by resting, and he he opted not to get surgery the year before. And he was playing like fairly well at the beginning of the year, that he was hoping that he could just probably like manage it with treatment and not have to get surgery. Obviously then he's like done stuff to it, like visibly on TV, for example, when he hit it into the wall, and he thought he had to withdraw. I think that was that at RSM or like somewhere where he thought he had to withdraw. He hit a root, like it may have gotten like worse, and now he's trying to play so that he can keep his status, instead of shutting it down. Because I feel like if he was like locked into the top 50 already, he might, if he really is going to get surgery in the offseason, like probably would have shut it down by now.
Yeah,
but
I think we're sort of, I think to an extent, we all sort of like agree that there's a lot less of an issue with the fact that he's currently going by the way he's going by. More so, I would have liked to see him shut it down after the PGA personally. I feel like I would have much rathered him be ready to go at the end of the fall for the Woods Challenge. Like, I don't want his first swings of the year to be a week before Century. You know what I mean? But that's just me personally. I would assume he knows what's best for his career.
Well, he's not gonna be in Century at this point.
Well, this
right
is fair.
Yeah.
I do think I'm kind of stuck a little bit on this. I think just the competitor in him wants to play in all of the majors. Like if he feels like he each week it's not getting worse, it's just kind of something he has to manage, then like I think he just wants to give it a shot. And I can respect that in the long run. Is it the prudent play? Maybe not, but I can at least appreciate if again the risk is a big deal. If it's not, then this is just not a very good season, right? But if it is something that he's like, well, I'm gonna do it at some point, but it doesn't hurt me to, or the chance of kind of making it a lot worse is pretty small, and I feel like maybe just maybe I can have one of those weeks at an Open or something like that, or at any of the majors really. Like that's not something you want to turn down. I mean, I know he's got the status to play in them for in at least a few of them for a while, but I think you want to play in all four majors. You want to give it a shot, even if it's not your best stuff. And I think that's kind of where he's at right now.
You have a chance to win without your best stuff, though, and the answer is no. So,
Yeah, but I don't
well,
think it's all about like I think he thinks he has a better chance to win than not playing. Like
Right. And this is, I mean,
if he
I'd say
doesn't
they're
this
play,
pretty
his
is
close.
chance is zero.
his best, like, this is his best major too. So, like, I could see him, let's get to the Open because that's the one that's like been the best
Yeah. And Pinehurst in
historically.
theory fits his game in theory, right? Like I think not
Myers,
show.
besides the putter, was good.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like I think he's still capable of playing like, is it winning golf? Probably not, but I think there's still, and he's hitting it so well with the driver in theory, right? This is his best season of his career off the tee. Like you don't want to just like give that up. I think he genuinely believes that he's um not that it'll all click, but just like if he could just piece it together somehow for 4 days, he feels like, yeah, I could be right there. And I think at that point it's to him better to do that than to sit it out and, figure out what's next. But
I hear you. Yeah, I appreciate the optimism, Dan, and the I guess thinking behind the points being made. It just can we just see results for once, just once. Haven't seen
yeah,
results in months. Just once.
yeah,
Doesn't need to be
that'd be nice to see
winning.
results. And I'm
Doesn't really
sure
matter. It's over anyway. But
yeah,
I just want to feel some excitement again. Like,
that's well.
going into API, I had a lot of hope going to excitement going to API because I thought like Genesis, oh, he got like the flu. He was, that was a fluke on Friday, but then that came crashing down. I just want to feel something again. But I will say that like Spieth in the past, like he does not like to withdraw if he can avoid it. Obviously, he had to when he hurt the wrist initially, but like other players, like if they like for example when he was sick at the U.S. Open, I think other players actually would have withdrawn, and they did. And he didn't. So he does not like to withdraw, like especially for majors.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
he's
it's not
stubborn.
a competitor.
Yeah, which I think is respectable as long as it's like, again, this is all with kind of the floating kind of asterisks of like, well, maybe the wrist isn't actually that big of a deal and he just isn't playing very well. And the other idea of like he's doing this kind of knowing that it'll get better next year. And I think the only way I think resting it for an off season, you feel uncertain about where it is next year. And at least with surgery, I guess there's still the chance that it isn't quite what it needs to be, or whatever it might be next season. But at least you did, kind of like with the putter on all the struggles, at least you did something about it, right? You didn't just sit there and hope that it would kind of get better. Um, and I was speaking of the putter because we're talking about the wrist.
Oh
I was
God.
kind of hoping he just like took had a new putter out for the Scottish, didn't do it. That disappointed me. I was then thinking, oh, maybe he'll pull one out this week, but probably not because that's his trusty major wand, right? Whatever. But I used to not be on the putter change bandwagon for a long period of time. I'm starting to be a little bit more like, dude, come on. It's horrible.
Yeah, I very much would enjoy seeing any change whatsoever. I've said this very many times. One of my biggest problems, as a fan who follows him so closely, is how stubborn he is. And whether that's a good thing or a bad thing in times over his career, um, I mean, at the end of the day, he had all this early success with a coach he's been with since he was a kid, a caddy he's been with since his first year, the same putter since he was probably 10. Like, he doesn't know anything else. So he's so stubborn to change any of that. And I I understand that there are good memories with it, but I just like to see him finally pull the trigger on something. Clearly this isn't working to the point where he can be that player. So I'd like to see something change, whether it's the putter, whether it's the caddy, whether it's the coach, whether it's literally anything, the clubs. Like, I don't care. I just want to see him change something. So
He's even slow to change his clubs, by the way. Like everything
yeah,
I've heard about
like you
Steve
like
is like he's like one of the slowest to change
you
his
see that thing
clubs.
with you see that thing with Brooks,
Yeah.
how he just hated the Strixon drivers, so he just like has this multi-million-dollar deal with Strixon, but uses a tailor-made driver.
It's crazy.
So
He's a great champion.
yeah, I think that's cool. So yeah, I just like to see a change.
Yeah.
Change is good.
Yep.
Yeah.
We need to see him.
Well, yeah, and change we hope means change something to then change the, the MCs into T6s and the, T41s into trophies, right? Like that, the whole point is something starts at the root of what creates results, which is ultimately what's the most fun about it all. And as of now, the results, I mean, God, I just want to see another green box pop up on that data golf page. And it's been many, many moons. And who knows? Maybe we'll get one in a few moons, but uh, you'd have to be kind of just hoping for as Bob said earlier, something that like has not happened this season. Or at least in 6 months.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm not sure I have any other thoughts on Under Armour, man.
Yeah. Well, I think we've talked a lot about like Spieth, and like it's almost like we're trying to save his career. Like that's not the like this is at the end of the day a fantastic championship. And whether Spieth plays good or bad should be fun to watch. Win should be up, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick. I'm not a huge fan of Troon, relatively to the Rhoda, but I think it'll be I love links golf. Like you really can't go wrong with links golf. So I'm excited. Course should be fun. Or it should play fun. With the wind. Where did Spieth finish in? I didn't look this up. I forget.
In 16?
Yeah. Wasn't it? He
It was. I did
It's a
look it up a
decent result.
while back. I don't remember.
Oh, it wasn't top 10.
Trun played pretty tough.
T30.
For two guys
T30.
Yeah, T30.
He was T30.
in 16. It's played in general. It plays somewhat difficult. Obviously, Stenson getting to 20 is kind of ridiculous because I believe third place was like 6 under.
Yeah, that last
Oh,
round
correct.
was definitely the easiest, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. And you go the first 6 holes, I think you kind of go out down the coast, and typically the wind is off the water and helping.
I'm pretty sure it's 8 of the first 9, and then 8 of the last 9 are the opposite. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it's just 2 par threes that are against
Correct, yeah.
out of the 9.
Okay.
Um,
So some opportunities in the first 6, and then it gets tough.
Yeah.
Plenty of pot bunkers, which is I think is really cool. It's very just like classically open, and I kind of like that. I kind of dig that. It won't be like terribly firm, which is a little disappointing, but it will be. They're projecting. They say actually their official like weather update is uncertain, but will probably rain and the wind will blow a little bit, and so that's kind of what you want for an open. I saw is like 15 miles an hour or so, pretty consistently throughout the week.
Yeah.
Given kind of the just how it works over there, it's likely there'll be some gusts kind of north of 20, maybe even some sustained periods. There could be an hour where it doesn't blow that much, but it'll at least be blowing for the most part, and I think that's what really makes an open fun. So looking forward to all that parts as well.
The wake up is a little bit later than usual. His tee times are usually around like 4:20, 4:30. This is 5, so that's nice. But yeah, it's kind of weird.
World Troon is like the holes are split into their 3 acts called Heaven, Purgatory, and Hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would make sense. Yeah, those last 6 holes are. It is cool how the course progressively gets harder.
Yep.
I think that's a really cool part of the golf course. I mean, the first 6 holes are borderline not major championship golf.
TPC.
Well.
Yeah.
In fairness, they're easy, but
You're cutting out
when you
Mr.
go
Craig?
out.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, there are still things that can happen on the holes.
Yeah, I mean they're just downwind, which is what makes them so easy.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. Yeah, for sure.
No, I mean it's not the designer's fault. The wind just blows that way. And then you obviously have around the turn you get some brutal holes and hang on for dear life. It's a good course. I like Troon.
Yeah.
I like what do we have last year? Last year was Liverpool. Oh, I was there. Whoops.
Yeah, you were
wow, Jordan.
Yeah.
With the hat on and everything.
If I'm being honest,
wow.
I think I might like Troon more than Liverpool. I don't love St. Andrews for the history. The golf course it's just not fun to watch, I don't think. I think I like it more than Liverpool. Royal St. George's I didn't like that much. And St. Andrews. So I think I probably rated it a little bit higher. They need to add Turnberry back.
Yes.
We talked about that. But the political mess that you have there, they won't add it back. It's stupid. Who cares? Just play on the best courses. But
yep.
No,
I will say I am a fan of Mr. Barry.
Yeah. Good course. That's where Mr. Scheffler and Mr. Burns paid it a visit prior to being true.
Yep.
Yes.
That needs to come back. I mean, St. Andrews. The problem with St. Andrews is that it's just the modern game. It's not suited for the modern game. It's just like completely overpowered now.
No. But Jordan, you're saying that this is the best. I think I agree with you. This is the best open course since Carnoustie in 19.
18.
18, yeah.
What was 19? Oh, Lowry. Yes. Port Rush.
Everyone loved Port Rush. I didn't remember it too much because Jordan play.
I like Port Rush.
I don't have a great memory.
Port Rush was.
Port Rush
wasn't a fan of the winner.
Yeah.
You weren't a fan of the winner? That's fair.
Yes.
No,
honestly though, the course was kind of sick. I did like it.
Yeah.
I knew the weather on Sunday was brutal. I remember that.
So the other thing about, I don't know if and when they're going back to St. George's, but St. George's got kind of a tough rap with the weather.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that would make it more appealing, but I would agree. I think this is definitely more, it's cool. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays. Like I think I could, there'll be a few holes that are just gonna be kind of sick. 8 postage stamp, that's gonna be awesome.
Great hole. That could be a high scoring hole for the Jordan Spieth camp this week.
Oh.
Could be.
It can be. I mean,
That is a hole that requires a little bit too much precision. So
Yeah.
I would bet you that we see a 5 from Spieth
on that hole.
on 8.
Wow.
I will do I will take the other side of that.
I'll put a wager, but he has to play 4 rounds. If he doesn't play 4 rounds, it pushes.
Okay. Okay. Spieth to make 5 or higher on number 8.
Yes.
What, $5?
You can name the number, Dan.
Oh, I mean,
It's definitely plus money, but I'll just give it to you even money. But if he goes,
well, you're proposing it, so yeah.
If he doesn't make if he makes a 5 and misses the cut, I win. But if he misses the cut
fair.
and he doesn't get 4 chances, then it's a push.
Okay.
But if he plays 4 rounds and doesn't make a 5, or plays 4 rounds, and plays 2 rounds,
I'll go 10.
Okay, deal.
This is funny. Dan's been the optimist all the time, and he's gonna be cursing Spieth when he makes a 5 or higher on this hole.
Yeah, no, it will be. He better not. I just. It's also like what it can play at most 1 kind of 40 from the tips from if they stretch it out.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so he could definitely just spin a wedge off the front of the green.
I mean, a miss left or right will be a 5 for Spieth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
If he misses in that coffin, it is a 5. If he
believe in
misses
the
right
short
of the green, it will be a 5. He will leave it at his feet.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like if you give him 2 chips, he won't be making a 5. Although my worry is that Sunday he's out of it or something like that, and he gets in a bad spot and then just tries to go for the make back-to-back times, and it misses a 3-footer. You know, any of those things could happen, but I'll throw 10 on it just for fun.
It's a nice wager.
Yes.
Sure. Deal.
So
I need to look into my.
I almost thought about betting you like $1 million. Go get that bucks.
Ooh,
we could add that to the wager.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
I'd like to do that.
Would you?
Right.
I would do that.
$10 real and $1 million. Go get that.
Yes.
Wow.
God, that's a. I am in front. I'll do.
Dan afraid to lose $1 million. Go get that.
I'll do
500K.
Yeah, we'll do 5. We'll do 500. We'll do 500.
I don't want to give up $1 million.
I think $500,000 is a tough but fair wager. So
yeah, okay.
That's where
I'm done with that. Shall we get to those plays?
Yes, I think we should.
And Elise's,
and then we'll get to Elise's
well.
plays. Yes.
Y'all, I'll start.
Sure.
Do you have it open?
Come on with Jordan Spieth. I see Jordan Spieth on the document. I don't know who it is, but come on.
Oh, who else could it be,
Yeah,
baby?
Come.
That was mostly for chuckles. I actually am not playing Jordan Spieth. You
can.
Who's winning right now? What's the lead? What's
his eye?
Dan had the lead by
Dan overtook the ball. Okay.
Yes. I had Aaron Rye gave me some nice cash the past few
weeks. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
yeah, Aaron Rye's been playing very well.
He has. I'm a little disappointed I've now used my 2 Aaron Ryes, but it is what it is.
Who will be my live?
Yeah, but he was pushing hard to get into the Open, so I think partly.
True. Jordan, let's hear him.
I already said I don't have him yet.
Oh. What?
I'll have him by midnight tonight. I'm on vacation. I
Oh
don't
my
really.
gosh,
Yeah,
this
that's
my
fair.
goodness.
this has
I'll give
gotten
Mister.
Fair
I'll
enough.
give him
No,
a
at least he's pissed at me that this
pass.
is my first time, I think, this year not having my
That's
picks ready.
true.
yeah.
That is true. I will go then.
Next
Go
year,
ahead.
next year, you guys get one free pass, and then
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
I was just saying,
last
like next year, you
anyway.
guys get one. If I make the rules, one free pass of if you got to
In,
get your picks in like by the time the pod
in
starts.
all actuality, there's no like I'm in last anyway, so there's no real benefit to me hearing who they have. Because if they picked, if
But
I
then you
picked
go
first, they could copy me and match whatever I would get.
contrarian because you're last.
But I'm last, so it's
But
like it doesn't.
if you're last, then you have to go contrarian to whatever they pick, Jordan. Like
True.
you have to do that.
That is true. But we all have different guys we can use anyway. Also, it's like a lot of the.
Like it's like a one and done.
Yeah, there
strategy.
are a lot of
Yep.
guys that just like.
Yeah.
We
I think
can't just-
Bob and I have very similar guys left, I think.
We have a
And
we have a
Jordan's are a
dilemma
little
on
different.
our hands.
Yeah, we're gonna be kind of
Say-
scrapping down the stretch. And it's Jordan's got some ammo left in the tank. Some
have
serious
Plenty
ammo.
of ammo. I have 2 Rorys.
You have 2 Rorys. Oh wow.
Dude,
Okay.
if you don't burn a Rory here, I'm not sure what you're doing, to be honest.
Well, but he probably needs to save for playoffs, right? Because
Yeah, but he has
I have a
2.
Rory. I have a Hovland. I have a Lud. I have 2 Rorys. I have a Xander too.
Oh my God.
Well,
All right, I
Xander
got
at East Lake is like a must. But anyway.
Well,
Yeah,
we're not playing East Lake though.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
I could use him in a playoff event if I wanted to.
yeah. Or here. He could win here.
Yeah.
Frank. It's a decent payout too. 3.1 to the winner. So
Yeah, Xander might get used this week. So I was very close to using him last week. He didn't play well last week, but
yeah. Anyway, I'll start. I did put Jordan Spieth down. I will delete that. I'm going Rom because he's kind of like one of the last bazookas I've got left. Whether or not it goes off, who knows? But he's in theory he's good enough to actually pop and play really well. He was T2 in the Open last year. I know different levels of form and whatnot, but he hasn't been like terrible on live. He's just not been Rom. Then I'm going Hideki. As my last Hideki play. He's been he hasn't been uber great recently, but really good at the US Open. I think he kind of ups his game for these majors. And he's actually got a really good short game. I don't think that quite gets appreciated enough. And if he flush in it, then he'll be relevant. Just whether or not he makes putts. And then I was kind of couldn't quite decide between these 2 guys. I was thinking between Finau and Batia. And I think I'm going to roll with Batia just because why not? I think it fits, the course fits his game better, even though Finau is playing some really good golf. I also kind of want to save Finau for a playoff event because that maybe is more his speed. So we'll see but I like Batia a lot this week. And I think a lot of people do as well. So who knows? Because he might get blown over. But if he can stay upright, I like his chances.
Yeah, that's fair. Speaking of people who don't handle themselves in the wind, I'll be going with Morikawa. Just because he's playing well and I haven't used him yet. I'd take a T20. I don't think he's gonna be in contention, but then I'm using my last Fleetwood use. It'll be a T9 for him. And then I'll be taking Ludwig. So stacking up one of the last purses that we got. Elise's picks have been saving me in recent weeks, so yeah. Riley wants to make a $10 wager with me as well. I'll take that on. I'll take that.
Elise, who's on? I know you have Ludwig, Kawa, and Batia on your card.
Correct.
Do you have, and you've got a few other people, right? Thigala and
Correct. Tom Kim,
yeah,
Wyndham Clark, and a bad number, by the way. Because he's like people got him way better. And then, of course, my uh, person I can't seem to quit, Cameron Young. Can't seem to quit him. But also, he has a really good open record, like T2, T8, has like 3.38 strokes game per round in opens. Of course, it's a small sample size, but he started to pop too now. So, because he had been doing like nothing, and then he popped at Travelers, and then he almost won the week after that. I don't even remember.
Detroit.
Detroit. Oh yeah, but he didn't. But luckily, someone else that I had did win that one. The non-scam Cam, I should say. So yeah, that's what I have this week.
So on your card, who do you like the most in terms of like balancing like chance to win and value, if that makes sense? Like, is there a guy at a number that you're like, oh, I love that I have this on my card?
Yeah, I mean, big 40-1. Like, he's 16-1, 14-1 in most places. I saw 12. I think
even though he's a loser, I agree.
Joker, not a loser.
I'd say he's a loser.
Can't be a loser when you look like that. But anyway,
I guess this is fair. I'm sure he'll do just fine in life.
Yeah, he's also like, he's not a Cam Young. He has at least won a tournament before.
Well, the RSM, yes.
Yeah,
that is a
like
tournament.
I mean, yes, true.
I'll say this. I think a 59 is more impressive than winning the RSM.
Especially when you get to see it in person.
I feel like I'd rather have a 59 on my resume than a singular win at the RSM. I'll say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because only like what?
No, yeah.
How many people have done it?
Maybe. That's an interesting question.
A ton of people have one tour win. Like only like 20 something people have.
At the end of the day, having a tour win is definitely like what every young golfer like is trying to get to. But the end of the at the end of the day, if you're looking back and you can see you won the RSM versus shooting 59,
yeah.
But if you had a career as a tour player and you played for whatever, I guess that stuff kind of depends. But resume, the top thing on your resume is you've got a tour event win, which is the RSM, or a 59. You're taking the 59.
Yes.
Yeah,
man. There's so many players that have
the only thing is the RSM. Yes.
There's so many people that have a win.
Yeah, but I like Cam Young will forever be a loser if he doesn't win.
Correct. But if Ludwig only wins the RSM for his entire career, he will also be a loser.
Right.
Yeah, but that's because he's good. Like, I think there's a level of if you remove.
But Cam Young is also good. Like,
right, which makes him more of a loser.
Cam Young's not as good as Ludwig.
Well, he's not as good as Ludwig, but he is still like really good.
Ludwig is fifth in the data golf.
He's definitely like he's better than he's better than Davis Riley. Davis Riley has a win. Cam Young is definitely better than Davis Riley.
Maybe
Davis Riley disappears for like weeks, months on end.
That's not the comparison.
But I think I'd rather be Davis Riley and win.
Well, right now, yeah, of course, because he has a win. He's spiked enough to have a win. There is going to be a week when that happens.
He has 2 wins.
I don't know. I don't know. Cam Young's think Cam Young's got to win. I do remember when Scotty was labeled a loser before the WM, but Scheffler also like won everything growing up. I'm pretty sure people were saying Cam Young hadn't won a lot of stuff growing up. Like, he just played really well.
Scheffler was a junior M.
Anyway, short kid 2827 says, does anyone think he can make the cut?
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
Short kid. Yes. I think he will make the cut.
Nothing wrong with being short.
It would be a disaster
that's just his
if he
name.
missed the cut. would be a
Yeah.
disaster if he missed the cut, to be honest, because
I mean, what happens if you miss the cut? Nothing. Probably.
well, nothing, but it just like, come
Pain.
on. I mean, he missed the cut at Masters like badly. It was just like the
Well,
two,
that was just
but I mean, the two best like majors that are
Well,
theoretically the best for him, he misses the cut in them.
he has that. That's a good point. He has been trending in the majors though. Miscut, T43, T41. So we're kind of due for T39, T38, top 40 maybe. That'd be a great week.
That would be a great week.
Where we are right now.
Yeah, this is tough. It's been one of those seasons, man. Well, and you know what's crazy is I unfortunately got down the Spieth rabbit hole on YouTube the last few days. And obviously didn't win in 23, but it's easy to forget. Like he probably should have won once or twice last season. Think about API.
Oh, yeah.
Where else was he? It wasn't Pebble, but
I disagree.
RBC
Genesis was, yeah, RBC, right?
RBC was the one where he like lift out, yeah, or like
Yeah, should have won playoff, whatever.
Yeah,
2022. If he got the one win, probably, if Cageley wasn't such a major killer, could have won there too. Obviously, 22 wasn't a great season, but this is by far his worst season since the 2018 or 2019, 2020, that stretch. Like the past 3 years have been way better than this. In terms of contention,
Yeah,
in terms of,
it's well said.
being relevant. And this, it took me a while to kind of frame it that way, I guess, or like think about it in that sense. But yeah, like this is like bad. And so hopefully makes me believe more and more that the risk is a thing, an issue, like it has created some issues, but who knows? So I'm still excited for this week.
Sure.
I feel it in my loins.
Yeah, that's fair.
Happy to hear it, feel it in the loins.
Do we have predictions?
Yes. T4.
T4.
Predictions.
T4.
I did talk someone into Spieth, by the way, this week. So
Yes.
T4.
at a great number, by the way.
He cannot miss the cut. There's no way.
Yeah.
I have a
There's
prediction.
no way.
The winner will be longer than 40-1.
I like that.
Pick a
I
winner
think we
then.
can-
Pick the winner longer than 41.
Oh gosh.
Spieth.
Let's all pick our favorite on the odds board longer than 40.
Yeah.
Akshay.
I just think we see someone that a little longer. What was Harmon? Harmon was 150, right?
On the
Harmon was very
DraftKings
long,
Sportsbook, my favorite longer than 40-1 would be, and I guess Brooks, but Brooks at 45 is kind of ridiculous. I'll say that.
He's not in
That
form,
is
but I guess I don't know how much that really matters.
Yeah, I know, but I mean,
All right.
I
that's
wouldn't
ridiculous.
count out the feisty bulldog.
Back. Thigala's 45.
Yeah.
He's 45 now.
Yeah, I'm bet
Sorry,
365.
that's just a huge drop. Like, that's a huge drop.
How was Bob McIntyre 32?
Bob McIntyre, man. I know that was 3 in a row for you, Elise,
that.
but like that drop pissed me off so much. I will say
I was not watching.
This is incredible. The
at least birdieing 18, like, okay, he played. If he hacks it out and then somehow makes birdie on 16, he birdies 18 to force a playoff. But I don't think he's making a birdie if he doesn't get that drop. But
the champion from 6 years ago is 1,000-1.
Molinari. That'll be a great trivia question one day. Who beat Tiger, Rory, Jordan, and
Beat.
Xander at Carnoustie in 2018? Oh yeah, Molinari. He also went 5-0 in the Ryder Cup that year though. So that was just kind of
Good
his.
year.
Did he go
Molinari
5-0?
like
Marcel
Molinari
Seed said
pissed me off so much because he beat like Tiger and then he was like he seemed like he was gonna do it again at the Masters and luckily and then he like hit it into the water. Very happy.
Yeah. Speaking of Tiger, will he be on the jet back to Florida come Friday afternoon?
No,
Hmm.
I think this is the major that probably like sets up and older players like have done good or have done well at opens. So no, and he
Okay.
looks. I've seen pictures. He looks healthier. Like
Yeah.
he looks less chunky.
He also threw a dart in the practice round at the postage stamp, so I think I'm all in. He could T12.
Typical
I actually
Tiger.
thought about
Big
playing him
plan
this week in the
practice.
triple double.
No, you did not.
No, I
No,
didn't.
what about Phil? Did you think about playing
Well, I
Phil?
was Phil with the
I mean, he
joggers.
won here. Yeah, and he didn't win here. Sorry, he played obviously he's played very well here.
I
And
don't
a
know.
comp
Really
course
played
like
well.
that I've read is Kiowa. So
Ooh.
and obviously he won Kiowa.
Yeah.
So I could see both Phil and Tiger making the cut. And bold prediction, I think they both will.
Okay. I dig that. What about Bryson? He's had a great year at the majors.
He will be in the mix. Bryson will be in
Okay.
the mix.
I don't think Bryson wins.
I don't think he wins, but I think he's going to be in the mix because he's just been playing so well. I mean, it's like Xander's like been like right. His Xander and Scotty Scheffler like every week their ceiling or their floor is T20, and
I
that's
think
like
if
what
Bryson were to
Bryson feels
win
like
an
right now
Open,
as well.
if Bryson were to win an Open, he win at St. Andrews.
Yeah, that's fair. My concern with him this week would be well, I think his distance is an advantage, but his accuracy hurts him. And then because his wedges are so long, if he gets into a weird spot in a bunker, he might have like where somebody with a shorter wedge might be able to at least get it out forward. He might have to go a little bit of a different direction. I don't know. I think there could
It's
just
also
be,
so hard to go back to back majors like that. That is
yeah,
so hard.
it's very
So
true.
hard to do.
Very, very true. But
No guy that did.
yes.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, we
But you
do.
also had to get lucky to do that though.
Yeah, I
Same
mean, it takes
time.
luck.
True. It's got to put yourself in those positions.
DJ had to miss that putt. Like, yeah, but if you put yourself in it will go your way. Like if you're enough time.
Yeah. Yes, it
I don't
will.
think everyone's given their long shot play. By the way,
Oh, I said Batia.
I'll say Brooks. I think that the number's ridiculous. I think that the value on him is unbelievable. So, I mean, Brooks should never be a long shot play. So,
You know a guy who I think is due to pop?
who?
Mr. Johnson.
Dustin.
He had a
Dustin Johnson.
T17 last week.
You know, that's kind of funny. I'm pretty sure this is his last exemption.
He was T9 at Troon in 2016. So actually, that's not a bad.
Player.
That's not a bad play at all.
Like if you look at the ceiling of all these guys at 150 or longer, I mean, it's like
Yeah.
Sam Burns is 160 to 1. That's crazy.
He's kind of
That is
falling
crazy,
off.
yeah.
Low-key.
He's 25th in the data
I don't think-
rank.
Where's Mr. Fowler?
No, he hasn't fallen off that. He hasn't fallen off that much. Not to warrant not to
Flowers.
warrant that price. I think.
There's no value on Flower at 225 to 1. There's no value there.
That's funny. Yeah.
Ricky Fowler was in 2016. I think he was like pretty. Well,
I think he was relevant.
Rory was T5, by the way.
Yeah, this. I
DJ
think
is
if I had a
close.
Rory, I would play a Rory.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
might just throw Rory, Xander, Ludwig at you guys and see what happens.
That's not a bad idea.
I mean, I think that could be devastating for us, frankly, I think.
I'll have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Do we have any questions from chat before we wrap it up? Hilton Head. Remember when we called Scotty a loser before First Waste Management? Yes, I miss those days.
Called Scotty a loser. He's lucky.
Always gets good draws.
Another one this week.
Yep.
What do we think?
Interesting chat.
I'm curious to see how he plays this week because he hasn't obviously won 3 weeks ago, but like, I don't know. I feel like competitive golf is needed to sharpen, and I wonder if he's maybe a touch looser than normal and kind of brings everybody back in.
But he had that other like gap with his kid being born, and he didn't like lose anything. But it is weird that he didn't play. I'm surprised he didn't play Scottish because he was obviously over here too.
Yeah. What needs to improve most? Iron, short game, or putting? Relative to the season average, approach play.
What was the question, Dan?
What needs to improve most? I mean, all three of them.
Approach, play, or putting.
Approach.
They're all pretty poor. So
I mean, it stinks, but there's just no way he wins without the approach and putting significantly improving. It can't just be one.
Yeah.
Like they both have to significantly improve.
Agreed.
So
yeah.
That's where we're at.
I mean, he's shown that he can't put it all together. That's been like one of the huge issues. Even when he was doing better in like 2021, 2022, 2023, I feel like watching him, there was also still something that would just not be quite there, right? And so he would end up with like a T9 instead of the win. That's just been like a consistent theme throughout his entire career, pretty much, except for 2015 and 2017. But like so often, one part of his game just like goes to complete shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well said. Yeah. Thoughts on Fleetwood?
Anyway,
man,
Fleetwood.
Nah.
So I just can't get behind him at the number that he's at. I mean, he is proven like everyone was on him last week. What did he do? He went T31 or something like that. Like he doesn't seem to be able to close the door. And of course, one day it's going to happen as well, just like with Cameron Young, but not at that price. I'm sorry. Like, if he was like, give me 40s, give me 50s. You can't. Like, I just don't see how he can be. How can he be lower than a 5-time major champion winner, Brooks Koepka? Like how? Like that much lower? Okay.
I will say to at least his
he's
point,
more than a prolific winner. Like Patrick Cantlay, like not that great, but he wins. Patrick Cantlay at least wins, right?
Something
lower than that.
Be said about majors and how important the experience is. Like not being a proven winner, winning a first-time major is hard. So if you haven't won anything, winning your first tournament as a major is like almost unheard of. So there is something to be said about that.
Fleetwood has won stuff though too. There's also the misnomer that he hasn't won anything. He just hasn't won a PGA Tour event because he's won plenty of DP World Tour events. That being said, I still just like he's playing the same competition he does on the PGA Tour this week. It's not like he's playing a bunch of DP World Tour guys. And so why is he that price?
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Over under 7.5 pot bunkers. I'll take the under.
I'll take the under.
It's a decent number though.
I'll take the under.
By the way, Fleetwood missed the cut here. Fleetwood missed the cut in 2016. By the way.
Okay.
Over
Hatton
under.
Hatton
I don't look too much
by the way.
It, but
yeah,
it's fair.
But there's a reason people are betting like Hatton this week because he was T5 in 2016.
Well, that's all I've got.
That's all I've got too.
I'm
Said
excited.
I
over
wish there
under-
was more to talk about, but
over under 7.5 under par.
for Spieth,
Yes.
Under.
under.
Uh,
Easy
That would
bet is
be
under. I would love to say over. So I'll say over.
Thanks, Daniel.
Well, if he's getting a T4, he's got to probably go over that. I
True.
would think.
T4. Yes. 9 under for Spieth this week.
Steve will huff and puff his way to double digits.
I like
Maybe
that.
he'll have a 2019 Bethpage Black putting performance
That would be
and
chills.
that'd be chills.
That would be phenomenal.
thrust his way to a T4 for
It'd be
Dan.
more than phenomenal. Yes.
We lost Dan.
We lost Dan. But yeah, over 7.5 pot bunkers. I don't even want. But yeah, I think that's all we have. It was. Oh, that's nuked. Wow. I think that's all we have today for you. It was a pleasure.
Was
Yeah. We will see you hopefully Sunday night.
nah. Not after a T4. Peace.
Peace, everyone.